colony of New Hope was quiet on that morning. It was the kind of quiet humans trusted. Children ran between silver homes. Farmers checked water levels under the pale blue sky. Scientists watched stars that never threatened them. New Hope was far from Earth. It sat on the edge of explored space, built for peace, not war. No shields were raised. No weapons pointed outward. The people believed distance meant safety. They believed no one cared enough to hurt them. Then the signals stopped. At first, Earth thought it was a simple failure, a relay glitch, a solar storm, something small. Messages were resent. No answer came back. Hours passed, then days. The silence grew heavy. Earth Command sent a scout ship, just one, fast and quiet. Its mission was simple: find the colony, restore contact. When the scout arrived, it found a dead world. The blue sky was gone. The air burned the sensors. Cities were reduced to black shadows. Homes were melted into the ground. No bodies were found. No shelters remained. No signs of life existed. The planet had been erased. The scout captain said nothing at first. He only watched the ruins spin slowly below. A place that once held laughter now held ash. Every street was empty. Every name was gone. The data logs told the rest of the story. Energy signatures, alien weapons, clean and precise. This was not chaos. This was a decision, far away. The alien empire celebrated. They had removed a problem. Humans were expanding too close, too fast, too careless. To them, New Hope was nothing, just a test, a warning, a message written in fire. They believed humans would understand fear. They believed humans would retreat. They believed humans were fragile. Earth received the scouts' report in silence. Leaders watched the images. No one spoke. No one shouted. No one cried. Names appeared on the screen. Families, workers, children. 300,000 lives, gone without a single word. The room stayed quiet for a long time. Some thought humans would strike back at once. They did not. No fleets launched. No speeches were made. No threats were sent. The galaxy saw nothing, and that worried some observers. Inside human space, something changed. Factories increased output. Old files were unlocked. Commands were whispered, not shouted. Deep underground, lights turned on. Deep inside asteroids, doors began to open. Systems that had slept for decades woke slowly. The aliens noticed nothing. They laughed at human silence. They called it weakness. They called it surrender. They did not understand humans yet. Humans did not forget New Hope. They recorded every detail, every scan, every energy trace, every second of the attack. The silence was not fear. It was focus, far beyond public channels. A single order moved through secure lines. It was short, it was calm, and it was final. Begin preparation. In the dark between stars, engines waited. In shipyards hidden from the galaxy, metal giants rested. They had been built for a moment like this. The colony was gone, but the story was not over, not even close. The alien empire watched human space from a distance. They saw no movement, no war fleets, no angry messages. To them, the silence was proof. Proof that humans were weak. Proof that fear had done its job. The empire had crushed many species before. Most reacted the same way. They begged, they ran, or they broke apart. Humans did none of these. In the alien capital, leaders gathered in tall crystal halls. They spoke of the erased colony as a success. A clean strike, fast and effective. One commander laughed. He said humans were traders, not warriors, builders, not fighters. He said they would learn their place. Another leader agreed. He said humans were divided by politics, by culture, by distance. They would never unite for one lost colony. The room filled with confident voices. They believed the matter was finished. Far away, Earth looked calm. Civilian channels showed normal life. Ships moved on normal routes. Markets stayed open. But behind closed doors, humans remembered everything. Inside Earth's command, walls showed star maps. Red markers showed alien space. Blue markers showed human worlds. One empty space glowed white. New Hope. Humans did not speak of revenge. They spoke of responsibility. They spoke of protection. They spoke of never allowing this again. Data teams worked without rest. They studied alien weapons, alien tactics, alien patterns. Every weakness was noted. Every strength was measured. The military did not rush. Humans had learned long ago that anger leads to mistakes. Patience leads to victory. Across human space, quiet changes continued. Shipyards doubled their workforce. Mining fleets pulled rare metals from deep space. Energy stations pushed beyond safe limits. Civilian factories were converted slowly, without panic, without announcements. The galaxy noticed small signs. Cargo traffic increased. Communication encryption grew stronger, but no one understood the meaning. The alien empire saw these signs and ignored them. To them, humans were preparing defenses at best. Walls, not swords. They did not know humans never build walls alone. On a distant human world, an old admiral stood before a dark screen. He had seen war before. He had seen what happens when humans hesitate. He approved a file marked forbidden. It had not been opened in generations. Across human territory, the same file unlocked. Silent permissions granted. Ancient ship designs appeared, not for beauty, but for destruction. These were not ships meant to scare. They were ships meant to end wars. The alien empire continued its celebrations. They expanded borders. They pushed fleets outward, certain no one would stop them. They sent patrols near human space, just to remind humans of their power. Human patrols moved away, avoiding contact, avoiding conflict. The aliens laughed louder. What they did not see was the counting. Humans counted ships. Humans counted worlds. Humans counted time. Every delay was intentional. Every silence was planned. In hidden chambers, leaders stood together, not arguing, not divided, unified by loss. One voice finally spoke, soft but clear. "They think we forgot," another replied. "That is their final mistake." Across the dark of space, engines powered on quietly, no signals sent, no warnings given. The alien empire believed the danger had passed. They believed humans had accepted their fate. They were wrong, very wrong. For decades, the galaxy believed humans had limits. They thought humans built only what they needed. Enough ships to trade, enough ships to explore, enough ships to defend. They were wrong. Deep inside human space, far from common routes, massive structures floated in darkness. Asteroids hollowed from the inside, moons wrapped in metal shells, places hidden from curious eyes. These were not cities. They were shipyards. Long ago, humans had learned a painful lesson. Peace never lasts forever, and hope needs protection. The sleeping fleet was born from that lesson. Built slowly, quietly, patiently, each ship was designed with one purpose: to fight when all other options failed. When the order came, systems woke across the stars. Lights turned on after years of darkness. Screens filled with green signals. Engineers returned to forgotten stations. Some were young, some were old. All understood the moment. Massive hulls rested in silence, some longer than cities, some black as space itself. Armor layered with decades of testing. These ships were not beautiful. They were terrifying. Artificial minds came online, cold, precise, free of fear, free of doubt. They ran checks, then checks again, then prepared for war. Human fleets were not gathered in one place. They were spread across space, hidden, waiting. Each sector activated its own forces. No grand announcement, no dramatic launch, just movement. Factories shifted to final production. Weapons were installed. Shields were tested. Power cores reached levels never shown to the public. The scale was impossible to hide forever. But humans did not rush. Command centers worked without windows. Time was measured in readiness, not in days. Admirals spoke in low voices. They reviewed battle plans written long before New Hope fell. These plans were not for conquest. They were for survival. As reports came in, numbers climbed higher. 10,000 ships, then 50,000, then more. Even human commanders paused. The fleet was larger than memory suggested, larger than any single empire in the galaxy. The final count reached a number no one said out loud at first. 300,000 warships, not transports, not scouts, not civilian craft. Warships, each one carried the same mark, a simple human symbol, a reminder of purpose. Across human worlds, citizens noticed subtle signs. Military traffic increased. Recruitment quietly reopened. Training simulations ran non-stop. Still, no one panicked. Humans trusted their leaders and their history. Far away, alien sensors began to detect strange readings. Power spikes, mass movements. Analysts dismissed them, calling them drills, calling them fear responses. They had no idea what was waking. The sleeping fleet finished its final checks. Engines idled at minimum power. Weapons locked but ready. All that remained was a direction. In the deepest command chamber, a final briefing ended. Maps glowed red. Targets were selected. A single human voice spoke the final words. Calm. Steady. Fleet status. The answer came without hesitation. All units ready. In the dark between stars, 300,000 warships waited. Silent. Patient. The galaxy still slept. But not for long. The message did not arrive with noise. It did not come with threats. It came quietly, sent across open channels, clear and impossible to ignore. In the alien capital, communication officers froze. The signal carried a human signature, verified, official. Leaders gathered again in the crystal halls, still confident, still amused. They expected anger. They expected fear. What they heard was calm. The human speaker used simple words. No raised voice, no emotion. You erased a human colony. You killed 300,000 people. You believed there would be no answer. The room grew silent. This message is that answer. There were no insults, no promises of pain, only facts. The message continued. We do not seek your extinction. We seek accountability. Some alien leaders laughed. They called it empty talk. They called it a bluff. Then the data followed. Star maps appeared. Movement lines spread like veins across space. Human space was alive. Sensors showed massive fleet mobilization. Not dozens, not hundreds. Hundreds of thousands. The laughter stopped. Alien military advisors stepped forward, hands shaking, voices tight. These readings are impossible. One said, no species builds fleets like this. But the numbers kept updating. Each second worse than the last. The human message continued. Our fleets are not hidden anymore. You will see them. Alien long-range scanners focused outward, pushing beyond normal limits. And they saw them. The stars dimmed. Space filled with shadows. Engine lights burned like distant suns. It was not one fleet. It was many, moving together. Formation after formation appeared, perfectly aligned, perfectly silent. Fear spread through the halls. For the first time, the Empire felt small. Commanders issued rapid orders. Defenses were raised. Borders sealed. Panic replaced confidence. The human message reached its final lines. You had one chance to stop. You chose destruction. We are coming. The transmission ended. Across alien territory, alarms screamed. Civilian worlds demanded answers. Military outposts reported power surges. Hyperlane traffic spiked as fleets scrambled. Too late, too disorganized. The Empire's sensors continued tracking the approach. Human warships moved with purpose. No hesitation. Strategic paths were clear. Human forces avoided civilian routes, targeting only military zones. This was not rage. This was control. Alien leaders realized the truth too late. Humans had not gone silent from fear. They had gone silent to prepare. The Empire had erased one colony. Humans had responded with unity, deep in human command. No one celebrated. There was no joy, only resolve. Orders flowed smoothly. Timelines locked. The galaxy listened. Every species watching the same data. A single thought spread from world to world. Humans were not coming to threaten. They were coming to finish something. And the stars would remember this moment forever. The first human warships arrived without warning. No dramatic entry, no display of power. They simply appeared. Alien border stations detected massive space distortions. Then their sensors failed, one by one. The sky above their worlds began to change. Stars disappeared behind dark shapes. Shadows stretched across orbit. The sky was turning black. Alien commanders stared at their screens in disbelief. Human ships filled every direction. Above, below, beyond range. There was no escape path left open. The first shots came from human fleets, precise, controlled. Defensive platforms vanished in seconds, not destroyed wildly, but disabled cleanly. Human weapons cut power grids, shut down shipyards, collapsed communication hubs. Alien fleets rushed to respond, but they moved in chaos. Orders overlapped, signals jammed. Human fleets moved like one mind. Each ship knew its role. Each strike had a purpose. Alien warships charged forward, weapons firing wildly. Human shields absorbed the impact, barely flickering. Then humans answered. Focused fire tore through alien formations. Capital ships cracked open. Fighters vanished in flashes of light. Human AI adjusted instantly, learning enemy patterns in real time, closing every weakness. This was not a battle. It was a lesson. Across the system, alien defenses collapsed. One sector after another went dark. Civilian worlds watched in fear, but human fleets did not target them. They passed by, silent and untouched. Humans were not here to erase lives. They were here to remove power. The alien capital system felt the full weight of the assault. Defense rings activated. Ancient weapons fired. They failed. Human warships surrounded the capital world, layer upon layer, a metal horizon with no end. The planet's sky vanished completely, covered by human ships. Alien leaders looked up from their towers, seeing nothing but human holes above them. For the first time in their history, they were afraid. Human fleets stopped firing. Silence returned, heavy and crushing. A message channel opened. One last chance. Human command spoke calmly. This is where it ends. Around the capital world, weapons remained locked, ready, waiting. The alien empire had lost its fleets, its borders, its illusion of control. They finally understood what they had awakened. Across the galaxy, every species watched, seeing what happens when humans are pushed too far. The sky over the alien capital stayed black, and no one dared to challenge it, because the final decision had not yet been spoken, and humans were still holding back. The human fleets did not fire again. They waited, surrounding the alien capital world in complete silence. From the surface, the sky looked like a solid wall of metal. No stars, no light, only human ships. Alien leaders stood in trembling halls. Their power was gone, their fleets destroyed, their borders erased. They finally understood the cost of their choice. A single human ship moved forward, not the largest, not the smallest, just enough to be seen. A message channel opened across every frequency. Public, clear, unavoidable. The human speaker returned. The same calm voice, the same simple words. We are not here to erase your people. We are here to end your ability to erase others. Images followed the words. Destroyed shipyards, disabled fleets, silent weapon platforms. The message continued. You attacked a human colony. You killed families. You believed distance would protect you. Distance does not protect against memory. The alien leaders had no response. There was nothing left to threaten with. Human forces began controlled actions. Weapons removed, factories dismantled, military networks shut down. Nothing random, nothing cruel, only precise justice. Alien civilians watched as their war machines were taken apart. Their cities remained untouched. Their lives continued. Fear slowly turned into understanding. On the human side, commanders reviewed final reports. No cheers, no